The 8th Amendment protects criminals from being executed in a cruel and painful manner, but a new lethal cocktail is blurring that constitutional line. 38-year-old convicted killer Clayton Lockett is the latest death row inmate to suffer during an execution. Critics blame an experimental mixture of drugs on his botched death and several others in recent months. They also say states haven't proved whether the lethal mixture causes death in a humane manner. To dig deeper into this issue, Deborah Denno is a law professor at Fordham University, and she joins us this morning. Professor Denno, thanks for being with us. So they used this never-before-used lethal drug cocktail to execute Clayton Lockett last night. He and Charles Warner, the other inmate that was supposed to be executed last night, had objected to the state refusing to disclose the source of these drugs. How does this botched execution affect this debate?
Well, it has a big impact on the debate because we always know that these states are looking at what other states are doing, and they're looking at these kinds of controversies and problems.
The Supreme Court had declined this month to hear other suits that were from other states attacking the secrecy behind these drugs. Could this, again, this botched execution, could this bring this back into the Supreme Court's radar?
Well, every time there's another incident happening like this, it becomes less likely that the Supreme Court's going to be able to ignore this pattern of botched executions that we've been seeing for quite some time now.
And some are saying this could open the door for more suits to be filed.
It certainly could.
Could the secrecy around all of this, could it be because the drug companies don't want them, the public to know who is producing these drugs?
Well, there's several reasons for this. First of all, the drug companies who are involved certainly don't want anybody to know that they are involved. That's number one. But number two, the more information that we get from Department of Corrections on how they're conducting these lethal injection procedures, whether it's the drugs or who's conducting the procedure or where it's located, etc., the more we realize that these Department of Corrections really don't know what they're doing. And I think last night's incident just made that all the more clear.
Now, if it is determined that it was the administration of the drugs, and that's what the Department of Corrections is saying right now, is the administration of the drugs and not the drugs themselves, how would that affect the debate over the secrecy of these drugs? Why would it matter?
Well, it does matter because the whole process is secret and everything's tied up with one another. So you can't isolate, say, the drugs and make them secret and not have other things be known.
You've said that the entire world was watching this execution last night. It turned out disastrously. Do you think renewed scrutiny will incite real change on a federal level when it comes to the way these executions are performed?
Well, of course, states conduct executions by a state-by-state process. So what we might see is a committee or some kind of oversight to try to get experts together to determine what is the best way to execute people in this country. We've never had that kind of oversight.
Deborah Denno, professor of law at Fordham University, thanks for your insight.
Thank you.